What is up, A team? Welcome back. Awesome here. Hope everyone's having an awesome day or night from where I would hope it is awesome. And yes, we're back at it today to talk more about crypto, to obviously talk more about the markets. As you guys know, the markets have been kind of up and down. I'd say that today they're obviously down, but I mean, if you've been following the last week, I've had some pretty good trades over the week. I know I've been a little bit off my schedule. We had soccer all last week. I was exhausted. And then, as you guys know, I take Wednesdays off. So I was out for basically half this week. But if you were actually following the charts, if you were following the 4 hour was really, really on top of it in terms of trades. Made some pretty good money, and hopefully everyone else was sort of following it as well. As you guys know, the cryptocurrency market is taking a little bit of a dump today. So same with the stock market itself. There's still a lot of indicators. There's so much fear out there. It's so crazy to even just go on to X and just read what people are putting out there. It's pretty funny to me. People in this space that have been in this space for a really long time have made a ton of money in this space. You know, content creators, you go on, you name it, dude. It's just funny to me how they completely shift on their followers, completely shift on their viewers, and it's just crazy because I think a lot of people were caught off guard. Not a lot of people. I'd say a majority of people were caught off guard with what was happening with Bitcoin here, and just crypto in general. But it's just funny to me how they completely shift the narrative. They are like, "Hey, now I'm selling. I'm getting out of crypto." It's just crazy to sort of see my timeline. It blows my mind, and this is exactly what happens every single like bear cycle. If you've been there before, if you've been through this, like everything that we're reading, everything that people are saying, it's exactly the same script that was said literally 4 years ago. It was said in 2022. I mean, that's just crazy to me that we're reading the exact same things. Like history has repeated itself when it comes to just reading all the rhetoric out there, everything everyone's saying. It's the exact same playbook before to get people to exit positions. They do the sentiment in crypto's down, like all this crazy stuff, like this extreme fear hits the markets, and people like eat into it. Like they believe it, they start selling their positions, they get discouraged, and then they look back and then they're pissed because they sold at certain levels. And this is the exact same playbook. Like I can't even describe like more than that. Like it's exactly the same thing. It's almost a deja vu for like the last 8 years of bear markets, right, that we've been in. It's deja vu all over again. And it's kind of funny. It makes me laugh a little bit because that's all people do is they just stoke fears. Even people that are out here and they're a champion for crypto, they're promoting crypto, they're buying crypto. When the going's good, they're gonna be out here telling you like all is good. But then when the going's bad, they're the ones that completely flip the script. And it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. I mean, that's kind of how a lot of these these people are on X. It's just funny to me. I get a kick out of it, and they just stoke the fears. Whatever like it's like whatever the flavor of the week is, they're gonna jump on that flavor. Like they're gonna flip flop as quick as they possibly can. And I think it's funny. So I just wanted to come out here and say that. I recognize the beard anyways. I appreciate you. But before we jump into it all, before we get a little dramatic here, I do want to say what's up to the A team. We got Just Mal in the house here, definitely testing our patience. What's up, my guy? Yeah, Griff, good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Same with you, Just Mowing. Guys in the house here from Fort Lauderdale. Heard, dude, property taxes. I saw Ron DeSantis putting it on November's bill. I would like to know what your thoughts are on that guy. Taking away property taxes, that'd be phenomenal, man. You'd actually own your property outright, never have to pay a tax on it again. How crazy would that be? I mean, that would be phenomenal. I would probably move to Florida just because of that. So, Tim Shea, we got the mayor of crypto. Tim Shea, I feel like I haven't seen Tim Shea in a minute, dude. What's up, my guy? The mayor of crypto has officially come into the chat here. I hope all is well, Tim. Good to see you, man. Never once party with the former. Oh, you're talking about the yeah. That's a crazy story, by the way. Hey, he got arrested today. Yo, anyone? I mean, should have, dude. BTC needs to be bring back isolated. Absolutely, dude. BTCC's kind of been a little finicky since they kind of made some updates. I will agree. Still using BTCC. Actually, like I said, made some pretty good moves. I transferred out a pretty good amount into Coinbase, and then I'm still just after yesterday's trades. Yeah, I'm up about made almost what $2,500 this week. Back up to I cashed out. I think it was back out to like 4,000, like 3,800. I think is what it was, and now back up to 61. So yeah, made some pretty good moves yesterday. I shorted the market, sold my shorts earlier today. Just to let you guys know, woke up this morning at like 3 a.m. and sold my shorts. And yeah, I was pretty excited about it, dude. Made some pretty good money. Austin, did you see the odds on G Sheldon for the Feds? The appointment has been delayed, and Trump has mentioned her before. Yeah, dude. I looked at the predictions on that, dude. The Walsh is going down on predictions, which is crazy. It is a wild thing. I mean, if people are actually following this, but Judy has gone up. She was at 1%. Now she's at 3%. Still, Kevin Warsh is still 94% on the prediction side. Yeah, she's definitely getting more attention. I don't know how I feel about Kevin Warsh. The more I look into the guy, the more I don't know if I feel again, I feel like he says what he needs to say to get into office, just like a lot of these politicians. I feel like they do and say what they need to, and then once they get there and they get that power, they completely flip script. What's happening in Virginia, what's happening in New York City. I mean, you go and you look at these politicians, they do whatever and say whatever to get into these positions, and then boom, they have zero action, and it's actually buyer's remorse. And we're seeing that across the board. Even here in Washington, we got Bob Ferguson up here, and he's doing some crazy stuff too. That's just like, what are we doing, guys? Like, what are we doing? We can't tax everyone to death, right? We can't just like make everyone pay for what you ran on. You ran on a millionaire billionaire tax, and then now everyone's leaving. Who's going to pay for it? It's the middle class. People that are sitting here, trying to get by still. Even like myself. Yeah, I made some good money. Yeah, I've I worked my ass off to get where I'm at today. But the last thing I want to go do is go fund a bunch of crazy programs. Well, the last thing I want to do is go spend my money on things that like I don't think is valuable for myself. Like, but here we are, dude. It is what it is, dude. Hey, what's up, Tony Punch? Good to see you, my guy. Hope all is well with you, man. RPM's in the house here. Appreciate you. We got Ash. What's up, Ash? Good to see you. Majestic's in the house here. You guys moved to Florida. Thanks for the warning. You might move to Florida. My dad's talked about moving out to St. Augustine, dude. That's where my dad, I think he's going to retire out there potentially in St. Augustine is what he talked about. He went out there, visited multiple times and loves that area. So he talked about moving out there and living out the rest of his days there. I'm liking BitNewX better than BTCC. Okay, Bruce. Might have to check out BitNewX, you know what I mean? Low 50s for Bitcoin. Yeah, we'll talk about that. There's actually some pretty good levels forming on this chart. And there's a lot of data out there suggesting 50, 55, 50, somewhere in that ballpark, which we'll see what happens here. Trump retail with 2 meme coins. He did. I mean, honestly, the Trump coin, crazy. Melania, the World Liberty Finance, like the whole thing's crazy, right? You talk about liquidity shuffling. It definitely did do that. I mean, there's a lot of people out there suggesting that helped, fuel the downturn of crypto. There's an argument for it. I'm not going to say that he was the say all be all of it. I'm not going to say that at all. I mean, but I'd say that definitely contributed. People jumped in on that Solana meme coin like none other, dude. I mean, you also got the president of Argentina that did all that crazy stuff too. So yeah, Majestic, call me Biscuit. All right, Biscuit. But okay, let's jump into it. We got some things to cover. I haven't been on stream in a long time. I feel like it's been like almost 5 days or so. So I do apologize for that, but here we are. Let's get ready to rock and roll, dude. So as you guys can see right now, the cryptocurrency market is at a $2.28 trillion market cap. The fear and greed index is at 11 here. It did dip down to 5 a couple days ago, and we're still trying to recover a little bit from that. And you can see Bitcoin still, up on the 7-day. Everything's 7-day wise. We're looking pretty good. XRP still looking good on the 7-day side, still up about 3.26%. So if you did put some longs in there, you're still probably sitting pretty good. Ethereum still hovering around this, almost broke even on this. But you got other ones like our baby Hedera over here, still up 6%. Zcash up 13%. There's some players out here that actually made some moves and they're actually sticking. So it's good to see that. Obviously, the stock market's down right now. Most likely, it's down because of the potential Iran conflict, even though Trump did just come out and say that he was going to give a 10-day, basically a 10-day warning. And again, I don't know how unpredictable or predictable that is. I mean, the last thing you're going to do is go tell someone you're going to, attack them. I think that's kind of crazy. Like, you're not going to play all your cards out there for everyone. Before you do it. Like that's a weird thing. And Trump's obviously been very good at like not releasing anything, not saying anything, doing things. And then like, it's almost like doing it and then asking, for forgiveness later. That's kind of like Trump's motto is like, hey, I'm going to go, attack Venezuela and do whatever we need to do with Venezuela. No one knows about it. And then I'm just going to explain to everyone what we did. I feel like that's the same sort of thing he's doing with Iran. However, I do think that they're really trying to, not do that with Iran. Like, I think it would be dumb. Like, number one, I just don't think that we should be in a war. I'm against all that. Like, I think I'm for world peace. I'm for, I don't think we should do any of that kind of crazy stuff. However, I do it if Iran is a threat to the United States in some way. Like, yeah, obviously you're going to have to do something about it. But I don't think Iran's dumb enough to make a move to make it bad for to get into this. I think that they're going to have pressure from Russia and China to not get into a war as well. Because I don't think it's good for anyone. I don't think it's good for any economy or anything out there. So hopefully that's the case. We'll see what happens here. 10 days are on the table now. I guess the time is ticking. This is almost like a tariff discussion here, so we'll probably see this out here. But I did want to point this out here. Bitcoin is just 1 week away from bringing together a 5 consecutive negative month, which is crazy. This has only happened 3 times in the past. The 2011 bear market, which again, Bitcoin just launched, and then twice in the 2018 bear market for 6-month overlap. we're seeing this again. This will be the third time in history that this happens, or fourth time in the history this happens, and it's going to be crazy because each time this happened, it rebounded to 100+% for the next 5 months. So people are, I mean, this is where it's funny to me that people are calling for Bitcoin, collapse of Bitcoin, right? People are saying like, oh, Bitcoin's worthless, Bitcoin's going down, there's nothing happening in crypto. You get just everything you could think of. You got to realize this is the first time that like banks are now able to buy Bitcoin. This is the first time institutions are able to buy Bitcoin. You know what I mean? There's so much money coming into Bitcoin because of that. And I get that they could actually, hurt Bitcoin and the pricing and stuff like that. But you got to realize this is like a new way to make money for a lot of these people. They're doing this. This is exactly the playbook that we saw back in 2018. Exactly the playbook we saw back in the previous bear markets of that. They want people to exit, and now we definitely know that institutions want retail investors out so they could write this up. Because as soon as enough retail investors actually leave, they're going to come in and swoop up so much to where they'll be able to control the markets. And again, people like you and I, if we're in here early enough, we will actually make out on this. Like, I truly believe that we're going to make out on this in the next 10 to 15 years. We're going to look back and be like, so thankful that we did not exit our positions. And it's because I believe that they're going to drive this up. Like, this is a whole nother market. Like, you have a whole nother area, a whole nother arena to make money. And you're going to start to see people make plays for this. Like, it's going to happen. And yeah, I mean, you can believe it or not. It's up to you. And to each our own on how we look at this. And some people are obviously against it, have always been against it. You got the Peter Schiffs of the world who are always going to be against it. That's fine. Who cares? And you got people who are obviously for it. But we know that banks are buying this. We know that this is just getting bigger. And I feel it's just a start still, dude. So like, again, you could be bullish in a bearish market, and I'm still bullish on where this is going to go. And I think we're closer to the bottom than we are, we have been in the past. So hopefully it just happens to evolve faster out of the bear or out of the dip and go from there, dude. Didn't you sell your H bar bag? I did. I did sell. I sold my H bar bag, but I bought back in. So I still hold my H bar, but I sold because I had some pretty decent losses, right? So I wanted to realize my losses for this next tax season, which was actually, I just filed my taxes. So I sold. I did my tax harvesting on it at the end of the year. I sold, but I bought back in. So yeah, that's the whole thing to do, is to sell, buy back in, so that you can keep that price and then you can use it towards your taxes. And I did my taxes. That's why I wasn't there. That's why I wasn't on stream yesterday or 2 days ago, or 2 days now, is my father was here doing my taxes with me. And we had a lot. Actually, this tax season went really, really well. As you guys know, just be aware that, the Schedule D's out there. You're going to have the 1099 forms for Coinbase now issuing those to the IRS. So just be aware of that. Make sure you're downloading that stuff off and including that in your taxes. You're going to have to probably if you're doing your self taxes, like on TurboTax or something like that, you're probably going to have to up your ante on how much you pay because of the crypto side of it. But yeah, it's super important that you guys stay on top of the taxes side of it. But it definitely helped out with my losses. It helped offset some things. I know I can only roll over roll 3,000 up. However, it did help out, for my rollovers. So I was very happy with it because I did. There was some areas where I made some money this year, and it's always nice to have that. So super important that you do stuff like that. If Trump says 10 days, he means 3. That's probably true. How low do you think we go? I'm thinking like we're probably going to see 55. I'll show the chart here in a minute, dude. Let me talk to Adam here. Hey, dude, thanks so much for the $5 super chat here, man. Good to see you, by the way. Sup, y'all? The no war president, the crypto president. That was a fun thought. Congrats on your Seahawks. Yeah. We'll see what happens here, man. I hope no wars, and I hope the crypto turns around. And yeah, congrats on the Seahawks. However, news has come out around the Seahawks. I don't know if you guys have been following this. Same with the Bears, right? The Bears are moving to Indiana, which is crazy to think that the Bears are leaving Chicago. Like, what the F is going on? Now you have the Seahawks, the Super Bowl winning, the champions of the world, and the Seahawks are now up for sale. And with the new proposals that are going through the House and the Senate here in Washington, they're doing the exact same thing that California is doing and making it almost impossible, or basically no one's going to ever want to have a sports team here because of the taxes. They're putting so much money to where the jock tax and the millionaire tax, and no one's going to ever. So this new owner could just buy the Seahawks and then dip out. They're going to go to like Wyoming. Who the hell knows where the Seahawks are going to go? But we lost the Sonics. Now we're probably going to lose the Seahawks, just like the Bears are leaving Chicago. So it's super disappointing, to say the least, dude. So what's the deal with Senton and XCL? I have no idea, bro. I literally just opened up my bag today to look at it, and it's pretty dismal, to be honest with you. Schiff not against it. He is not against. He's just against BTC. He's shorting the hell out of Michael Saylor, dude. I think him and Michael Saylor hate each other. 40 down, downturn to Lauderdale by the sea, but don't want a car. What are you talking about, Trent? I don't even know what you're talking about. I might have missed something there. What's up, dude? Good to see you, Selmo. What's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a while, dude. Aren't the Seahawks for sale? They are, dude. Yeah. Your team's playing East Rutherford, New Jersey. I know that's pretty funny, right? They do. They actually do. It just sucks to see, like, you know, I mean, like, why are you taking that away from Chicago? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you know, they're going to Indiana. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird. But you know, it is what it is, dude. Schiff owns a bank. He does. So here we have right here, dude. This is weekly crypto asset flows. As you can see right here, crypto outflows remain strong. Crypto funds posted again a negative 173 million outflows last week, marking the fourth consecutive weekly withdrawal. This brings four cumulative outflows of roughly 3.74 billion, and Bitcoin led this by almost 133 million in outflows last week. The crypto funds have now seen withdrawals in 11 of the last 16 weeks. Since October, which again was the downturn of our market, which is October 10th, we've seen roughly 8.5 billion outflowed of US alone, listed spot Bitcoin ETFs alone. And it said the sentiment is reaching extreme bullish levels or bearish levels. As you can see, these are the other levels that we've seen. But I mean, you can see that we've been getting beat up left and right. So what does that mean for us? What does that mean? That means that right now we're actually not looking too good. I showed you guys, these are the averages across since 2011. Here's what February has looked like for us over the years. You can see that we're actually in the second or third worst February in all the years of Bitcoin. Usually Bitcoin's a very strong month. We actually gain about 11% on average. Right now, we are below that trend. This is the 11 on average trend right now. We're well below that. You can see there's 2 other years that have fallen below this, and we're right there as the third worst February on record as of right now. So the question is where does this go? You have a lot of people actually calling this out here. This is Cointelegraph putting out a chart here. And again, they're just mocking with what everyone else is saying on here. I know they put this article out here because, as you guys know, articles are being paid, on X now. If you're putting out articles, Elon's actually paying you for articles like that are legitimate. So you'll see a lot more of these articles, but these levels right here are being called for across the board. You can see right here that most of the people are believing that we're going to get down to roughly 55 to 50,000, give or take right here. And the majority of people are pricing that in right now. And there's a lot of liquidity levels down here. You can see even if you go to you can go to Glassnode right now, you could actually see that there's certain liquidity levels down here. But all reality, we know that we're down at levels that we've seen in previous years. Look at this. Back in 2019, we saw 11 on the fear and greed. Back in 2020, 21, we saw 9 on the fear and greed. And then 2022, we saw 12. We saw 5. We're at the lowest we've seen ever in the history of fear and greed index. Today, we're back to an 8, I think is where we're at, 11. So we're back to 11 today. So not too bad when you're starting to think about it here. But what this means is that you take these unrealized losses and capital outflows, the market is showing a broad psychological contraction. Bottoms form when fear burns out, not when everyone suddenly feels brave again. So when the fear finally sets over and it's like, hey, we're down here, there's no more fear, like we feel like we've reached the bottom, boom, things start to take off here. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. You can see right here with this is the short-term Sharp ratio. It's hitting historical levels for generational buying zones. And as you can see, every time we've hit these levels of low risk, we've had massive buy zones. So again, multiple indicators are correlating that these are in buy zone territories. Again, doesn't mean it's buying today at 66,000. It means that we're in levels now where this could actually bounce back. And again, it could happen right now, right? That's the thing, is that people are still calling for this to go down to 55 to 50,000, but realize that when we start to bounce back, just like what happened in 2024 when Trump got elected, and right there in 2024, boom, dude, the markets took off like we had never seen before. No one could have predicted it. I mean, if you were believing in crypto and you were believing in the markets and what Trump said he was going to do in terms of being a pro-crypto president, the Biden era leaving and all the regulation they put on crypto with the SEC leaving, like all that stuff, we saw a massive spike in just crypto in general right there on November 5th of 2024 when Trump got elected. You don't know when that's going to happen again. And that's what sucks about this space, is that everyone tries to time it. And unfortunately, most people that try to time it are the people that are going to miss. And eventually it's going to grow and grow. And they're going to try to find buy zones. They're going to go, shit, I should have bought it back at 66,000 because right now it's 80,000. And they'll go, you know what? I'll wait for it to come back down to 75,000 or 70,000 and I'll buy back in. And then it goes up to 95. And they're like, okay, well, maybe I'll wait for it to come back down to 80. And they keep playing that game and they never enter back into crypto. Like, that's a psychological thing that happens all the time. And instead of just waiting this out, but we are closer to the bottom, I think, because a lot of indicators are saying that we are at levels that we've never seen before, and at levels of just good buying zone levels. And so going back to what this was said right here is that bottoms form when fear burns out, not when everyone suddenly feels brave again. And again, you got to think we're trading on an algorithm here. There's AI trading bots out there. There's algorithms being traded across the board, whether it's institutions or exchanges. They're all buying based off of numbers and indicators. There's not someone behind a computer pushing buttons, waiting for the buy, dude. We are in a bear market. Yeah. We've been in one since October 10th, dude. I mean, in all reality, and we're trying to get out of it, and it just keeps going down. Let's see here. I'm sure hope that with 1.15 XRP again, that'd be crazy. 115. I mean, it got close, right? Got close, got into the 120s. We got Shannon. What's up, my guy? Hope all is well. Thank you so much for the $20 super sticker. Appreciate you a ton, man. Long time no see. Hope all is well with you, man. Let's see. What's up, Austin? What's up, Phil? Good to see you, man. October is probably it. October was probably the hit, right? And we're trying to bounce back, but here we go. You can see right here, this is talking about the US ETF inflows. I mean, the amount for risk appetite here with all of us and across the United States is huge. You can see right here that inflows have doubled in terms of ETFs since the 2021 downflow. Even the meme stock frenzy of 2021, we haven't seen these levels of like risk appetite, of people actually putting money in here. The number of ETFs with over 100 million in inflows has exceeded 500 for the first time in a period of years. So you look at this, and you come over here and you start to look at I actually really like this chart by Eric. He put this together out here talking about ETFs. And what's crazy about this is a lot of us are like freaking out. I mean, I'm not freaking out, but I'm saying, like, I'll just go read X. Let's open up X, and if any, content creator or any person out there that's been talking about Bitcoin, they're all like turned negative on Bitcoin. Like, it's really weird to read. It's really weird to read like how people can just flip the script. I mean, they have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of followers on X and on YouTube and all this kind of stuff. They built their platform on promoting crypto and being excited about crypto, and then you'll see a lot of those people have now kind of shifted to this, like, I don't know, like they must have got wrecked. I mean, I just feel that like people got wrecked. Like they probably had a couple $1 million. They put it all in Bitcoin at the top, thinking it was going to go to 250,000, and then it came all the way down, and now they're sitting at whatever it is. Like, that's what I feel. I feel like to change course like that, something negative has had to happen in your life to where that happened, and it sucks if that happened to them. I'm sorry, but like, it's just crazy to see they're a champion for crypto and all is well, but they flip script and they're so negative. But anyways, put that to the side here. What this is saying is that Bitcoin ETFs net inflows peaked at 63 billion in October. You can see this was obviously right before the crash. We got up to $126,000 for Bitcoin. You can see right here in October. Today it's at plus 53 billion. So plus 62 billion was at the peak, and right now we're at plus 55. So we're roughly, what is that? Like almost $7 billion off from the peak to where we're at right now. So that means that roughly $7 billion has left the ETFs, meaning that like there's still a ton of money in these ETF funds right now. It says more bullish than most peers, that the prediction was 5 to 15 billion in the first year. You can see that we were in 5 to 15 billion in the first year. We reached 62 billion in the first year, right? From the time that stopped in 3/18 of 2024 all the way through. You can see that I mean, just in the first month of this going out there, we almost broke where a lot of these people predicted this to be. So, I mean, right now, consider when looking and writing about, when he wrote about this, that 8 billion in outflows since 40 have caused a 45% decline. So 8 billion caused a 40% decline. And so when you look at this, dude, like, this to me, like, is actually super bullish. Like, I mean, we're not even that far down. And when you start to look at where this happened, I mean, look at the massive drop rate that we had right here back in February. Only about 5 billion left. We're sitting here on 8 billion. And just look at where this actually flows between to get to up here where we got, but roughly about 12 billion came in on 3/18 of 2024. Bitcoin was roughly at, let's just say it's at 7. Let's just do easy math. It's at 15,000 per Bitcoin. And then it went up from 15 all the way up to 40. We had to increase by roughly $30 billion. And then from roughly 40,000 in terms of Bitcoin, we had to increase it about another 20 billion to get up to 60, right? So it's just crazy to me when I start to look at this in terms of like where it's going. Like Bitcoin is you don't have to actually insert that much money. What I'm saying is we don't really have to insert that much money for this to get back to where we want. 8 billion outflows is not that much. But people look at it differently. The ETFs continue to rule the space, but I mean, in all reality, they haven't that much hasn't left the fund. It's mostly a lot of it is retail and then just manipulation with the exchanges. That's really what it comes down to. So, and this is just another indicator out here. It's heartbreaking to think of millionaires losing their assets because of BTC. But they built their wealth off of BTC. So it's not heartbreaking to me because the majority of these people that are in crypto have built their wealth off of BTCC. So you can't, I can't go back and say, well, now I feel bad for you that you lost it on BTCC because you built your wealth on BTCC. So it's like, I don't know. And that's a majority, like I said, a majority of people that are in crypto, content creators, whatever it might be, they're out here talking to a group of people, talking about being bullish, all kind of stuff. You'll see a lot of these people come out here, and again, I'm not here to like call people up, but I think it is funny sometimes. Like I have to get a chuckle, and I try to really restrain myself. But like Ran out here, for instance, I don't know if you guys know him. Obviously, one of the bigger content creators in this space, ton of followers, like almost 1 million followers. He's got a ton of people on YouTube, and it's just funny to like read this stuff. I liquidated almost my entire crypto portfolio, not because I'm bearish, not because I'm white, but if you read this, if you go back and watch all of his content. He's out here talking about crypto every day, positive, this and that. And then he comes out and says, hey, I'm leaving this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm only going to get into these. And like, this is just a complete flip. And so I had to laugh about it, dude. I just said, this is hilarious. And he'll be back telling everyone to buy in a few months. He'll never walk away from the wealth he created from crypto. But it makes me think like he must have I don't know, probably lost his ass in this one. I don't know. Just kind of weird to me, dude. Sarcasm is the language of my tribe. You're good, dude. I'm bullish. And are you kidding? $10 H bar sub. I know, right, Observer? I mean, it's hard to be bearish in a bearish market. You want to be bullish, right? But there's a lot of people that walked away from it. Hey guys, anything on the PWT? I think that they're launching in August. Is what I thought they said. So they're hiring for devs to build on Cosmos. I think. Oh, nice. Just got to be patient. You do got to be patient. This is the hardest thing to do. Anyone else's audio out of sync? Is my audio out of sync right now? I don't know. Is my are my lips moving to the audio? I don't know. Maybe it's out of sync. I don't know. Maybe is my audio and video out of sync? Interesting. Wonder why. Wonder if my audio is messed up. Who knows? Let's see. Okay, here. Okay, what are the charts saying? Yeah, we'll take a look at that. So okay. So my audio and everything looks good. Okay. So maybe it's just you, Stan Man. I don't know. Maybe I'm off. Audio and video are fine. Okay, perfect. Do you think 5,000 H bar is enough? I mean, that's pretty good. I think that's a really good thing. Honestly, no matter what diversifying everything and within everything causes, no one knows truly what happens. But yeah, I would agree, Trent. No one really knows. It's slippage. Your favorite opens a long and shills like crazy, opens a short and fuds like crazy. They make trades before you and hope you fall. That's true. They do that. But it's just funny when you read this. I mean, this guy's obviously big in crypto. He's been here for a long time. He's made his wealth in crypto. And then it's just funny to watch this happen. You know what I mean? Like, because if you go back and it's almost like, and again, like your guy, Kev, I know you watch Ben Cohen, but he's taken a lot of flack as of lately too, because he's kind of in the same boat, right? There's a guy out there that was putting out some pretty decent content. I should have saved it, but he was basically calling Ben out for doing sort of the similar things, right? Being hyper bearish and missing out on, and when you're bearish, you miss out on the bottoms, right? And that's kind of what happened with Ben, is he was like, it's going to go down, and he missed the boat, right? But then he tried to come back and say, no, I hit it, but there was too much information out there, and this guy that uncovered it saying like, no, dude, like you missed it, So I think you have both sides of it, right? You have people who are super bearish, people who are super bullish, and it flip-flops back and forth. So sound is slightly off, but I only noticed when someone mentioned it. I looked at the chart and screen. Okay, your audio sounds fine. Okay, well, I think people are saying that like there's like a lag. Well, I don't have a guy. I have a mind. No, I'm just saying you watch Ben though. I'm just saying like you do watch him. I mean, I know that's one guy you watch because you've talked about him before. Mm. So yeah, I don't know why it's off. Who knows? Maybe I need to do. Let's do this. 10K is my goal. That's not bad, dude. Let's see here. Google. Let me set my Wi-Fi. Maybe it's my Wi-Fi. Maybe I have a little bit of a lag. Let's go devices. Let's do that. There we go. Too busy with the chat to worry about the audio. Oh, I like it. So there was that, and again, I'm not here to call anyone out. I just think it's funny how people just switch so fast. They just it's just like when things are down, people are gonna flip and just go and be down on it. It's just really weird to me, dude. I've been gone for a minute. Hawaii. Can we talk about BitBoy and Kevin O'Leary? I know, right? Kevin O'Leary won his defamation lawsuit against BitBoy, dude. Like BitBoy is really. I mean, it's crazy to think. Ben Armstrong was top of the world. Ben Armstrong had the biggest following in crypto. Ben Armstrong was a massive influence on just a lot of crypto in general. I don't know why. I never watched the guy. I thought he was weird from the get go. Like I don't watch a ton of people. You guys know me. I don't watch a ton of people as it is anyways. But yeah, he was on top of the world, dude, and he just literally just like crapped the bed. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, dude. Like he shit the bed, dude. Like that's just what it comes down to. I mean, like sadly, I mean, I feel bad for the guy in some ways, but he's kind of did it to himself in some degree. But it is what it is, dude. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but that's what happens, man. You get a lot of money. Yeah, you get some influence. You feel like you're untouchable. You got all this power. It's weird. People like have this dynamic where people start to know you. They take notice of you. You're making a lot of money. You think you can say and do whatever you want to do, and that's kind of what caught up to him, dude. That's fame. That's fame and fortune, man. More money, more problems, and I think that's a true statement. Always has been. And I think when you're out in a public setting and you're talking to a group of people and you can influence a group of people, you think that you are you're king shit. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, he's got knocked down a couple pegs, if not all of the pegs. But yeah, he did call last cycle bottom perfectly though. Yeah, I mean, and that's where a lot of these things are lining up. I mean, and again, there was so much data out there from last cycle, Alex. Like so many people were calling for that. It wasn't just BitBoy, dude. There's so many people that were having the same discussion. Just like right now, I mean, everyone's calling for 55,000 to 55 to 50,000 right now for Bitcoin, right? Everyone's kind of calling it right now. Where the hell is my article on that? I was just looking at. The hell to go? Did I already go through that many of these things? Damn. Anyway, there's an article out here that I just showed you, right? I just shared you saying at 55. I mean, Cointelegraph out here. You got all these people that are trying to catch the bottom, right? Who's gonna be right and who's gonna be wrong? That's always what it is in this space. Unfortunately, is who's right and who's wrong. Right now, the bears are right, the bulls are wrong. And then what happens is a lot of the bears out there. Well, it's all about I'm right, I'm right, and that's how people think that they get street cred in this space is by always being right. It's weird. It's a really weird space. Like crypto is just a really weird space. That's why it's important just to show both sides of it and make people make the decisions. Like that's how I always look at it. Just talk about both sides and let people make their decisions on what to do. I get the feeling the biggest crypto influencers don't work for themselves, just shady backroom deals, influencers, cabal and shit. It's probably true, dude. There's a lot of these people out here that make a ton of money just having teams behind them that are doing all these things and making all these moves. And I will tell you, if you have a platform, I have a platform here. I got people that show up every day. There's people out here that want to use my platform, right? There's people out here that want to influence you guys through me to do things. And unfortunately, it happens and it sucks. Sometimes, I mean, like, it just happens. And it like, you want to believe that these things are good and like there's a change in it, but you get sucked up into it and you're like, shit, dude, like that didn't turn out very well. Like Sentinel did not turn out at all good right now. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to talk negative on it. I hope that they can deliver and do all these kind of things. But yeah, that's kind of what these things. That's kind of where these. Unfortunately, that's kind of what happens in this space, and it does suck. And you have to take a step back sometimes and be like, gosh, dang, But that's where majority of these developers out here, they got no platforms, and so they seek out people and try to get their stuff through that, and that's kind of where it goes, dude. Has anyone listened to Waters Above and his predictions having to do with the moon cycles? And I have not heard of that, dude. That's crazy. No, I've not. It's great because you will learn from what mistakes. But yeah, that's the biggest thing is that people quit it. So some people learn from the mistakes. Most people don't, dude. Most people don't tell us about the mistakes. or they won't learn from their mistakes. Sorry, they won't learn from the mistakes. They'll do it over and over again. Tell us about it, Austin. We should up in here looking for you more often that you show up. I know I need to show up more, dude. Like that's what it comes down to. I mean, in all reality, I need to come on more. It's just so hard. I got so many things going on in life. I do this for fun. You guys know that. Like I don't do this for a day job. I don't do this for a job. I do this for fun. Like you guys, like this is a hobby to me. Like I love coming on here and chatting with you guys when that's it, dude. Like I come on here and just shoot the shit. It's like shooting the shit with friends. Like 202 people in here. We're just like shooting the shit with like, and it's fun. Like I enjoy that. And unfortunately sometimes like I'll do things and I'll make it a job. Right. And I'm like, oh God, dude, like this is like not what I want because there's no desire for me to do that. A lot of people want me to do that. A lot of people are like, hey, if I did create this like a job, I'd be on here a lot more. And I don't know, man. It's just tough, dude. Influencers got only get following from noobs who want to get rich quick. Markets are easy, buy and wait, usually for a long time. Yeah, that's the hardest part, right? Is this the buying and the waiting? I mean, unfortunately, people don't have the patience to wait. Unfortunately, dude. What's your biggest loss? My biggest loss is like my biggest loss on a project. Is that what you're asking me? Hello on crypto. It was definitely MMAI was my biggest loss. Not even close. My biggest loss in crypto. We are legendary shit shooters. Hell yeah, dude. Hey, Austin, you think we'll hit a $7 XRP by end of year? Not by end of year. It'll be interesting to see because October is kind of the flip round, right? $7. I mean, it depends on how far this goes down, but I mean, $7. I mean, we talked about it. I think that the money flows back in. Yeah, I mean, things could go well. Yeah, XCL probably. I mean, I guess if you look at XCL in terms of like, yeah, I mean, I had $880,000 in XCL. Now it's down to 16,000. So, I mean, if you were going to say that that's a loss, I mean, from where I could have cashed out, yeah, that's probably the biggest for sure. No doubt about that. XCL went up to 880, almost like $900,000 in my wallet when XCL blew up. And yeah, that's kind of where it's at now. I mean, I'm down to 16,000. So, but as far as down in terms of like being from where I bought into being down, it's definitely MMAI. I mean, I lost like $75,000 on that project. That was the worst in the world. Yeah. So yeah, a couple of those you lose. I mean, right now, I mean, Sentinel, I think I'm down like 15K on Sentinel. I think I'm down like 4K on XCL. So yeah, there's those hits, and eventually, depending on where they go here in the next year, I mean, yeah, I might have to sell them for losses. You know what I mean? Like I might have to sell a loss on it to tax harvest it. At some point, you're going to have to tax harvest something. So the amount of low MC gems that unless they obviously do well, you're hoping that these projects come back. Like that's the whole goal, right? I mean, and I think that those have. My biggest loss is XCL. Yeah. New Brunswick, about 5 minutes from me, getting Nokia headquarters. Oh, really? That's pretty crazy. The amount of low cap meme coin gems that get shilled that are actually an inside empty project is disgusting. One born every minute. Yeah, and that's probably true as well. And unfortunately, they come to our channels for marketing, and sometimes you're like, you know what, that actually looks like a good project, and you want to believe that's going to be a good project. You want to believe that it's going to do well, and unfortunately, it just doesn't do well. So if you want to get quick ripped and launch a scam, it's not even that hard. Yeah, but to even ramp up a scam coin is hard, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like to do that is hard. They're building a new skyscraper. Damn, are they really, dude? That's kind of crazy. I've been poor, so I don't notice a difference. All right, so looking at this chart right here, this is actually pretty good. It says Bitcoin bottoms rarely feel calm. Historically, local lows tend to form when volatility spikes to extremes. That is when forced sellers exhaust themselves. We're seeing one of the sharpest volume surges of this cycle. When volume peaks and supply dries up, reversals often happen very quietly. And you're starting to sort of see that right now. I mean, we're hitting levels that we haven't seen in quite some time. I mean, look at the volatility spike down here. You can see right here, this is the blue. This is the volatility spiked along with the selling pressure here. And so we hit massive levels. Even back in April of this year when we had a massive dump, we just went right over the red. We just barely went over it. And even over here in July, when we had our sell-off here in July, we came down and hit 46,000 with Bitcoin. We came down here and hit roughly 60, 70 something thousand with Bitcoin. We came up and hit the red, but we never really went crazy. Now we hit levels like holy shit, like massive holy crap levels here. And now we're starting to come back down and get a little bit leveled out here. And when this volatility comes back down, to these levels, we'll actually start to see the rise in Bitcoin. So again, when you start to see this stuff, realize that bottoms could be in. I mean, I'm not saying the bottom's in right now, but I mean, it's definitely looking like we're getting closer. We're closer to the bottom than we are to the top. Like that's what it comes down to. This is actually pretty interesting here. We talked about these fib levels here, and I pulled it up on the chart. I put this has been out on the chart for a while here. We talked about the 6.5 level, anywhere from the 618 to this 0.65 level in here, which is the golden pocket, which is right around 55,000. Again, this is the pocket that everyone's calling for. I've had this chart up for now over a month now of this fib going to, anywhere between 618 and the 6.5 here, which is the golden pocket, coming down here to 55. So if you go back and you actually look at what this guy had right here, he's also calling for these fib levels here, which puts it right into the 55 mark. So again, everyone's talking about the same thing here. It's not like any, and what's going to happen is that if 55 is the bottom, you're going to have 1,000 people, probably 10,000 people out here saying that they called the bottom, right? That's just the funny thing. But what I like about this chart here, and the reason why I'm actually presenting it, is because I do agree with these levels here. Every time we've come down and we've actually hit certain fib levels here, you can see we've hit the 0.68 to the 786 level, and you can see the bottom was about 65% below the 618. Then here that was back in 2018. Then we come back over, or sorry, that was 2016. Then you come back over here to 2018 levels, and you can see that we came down about 59% below the 618, then 44%. And you can see each year we were getting lower and lower and lower, right? We went 65, then we went 59, then we went 44. And now the question is how far below the 618 will we actually get? And that's a good question. I guess if you take the averages of all those, right? I mean, I guess you could take the averages of all those and see, okay, well, what was the amount? And again, there's no perfect number here, but you can see that roughly probably close to 8 to 9% this year between 2000, you can see like 2019 levels, 2018 and 19 compared to where the levels was here in 2022. There was a massive gap, right? We're talking almost 15% difference. This one was only roughly about 7% difference, 6% difference. So, I mean, even if you say, okay, let's just take the last one and say we're going to go, we'll just take 7 away from this. That'll put us at roughly, or 6 away from it. That puts us roughly 38% below the 618. So if we want to say the 618 right here, we want to go 30% below the 618. I mean, here's the 618, which is at 57. We want to go 30% below. I mean, that's a pretty far number, right? Even if you do that, 30% below that's still 40,000. And I don't know. People are saying that that's what we're going to get here. I don't think so. I think that's pretty far below. But shoot, nothing. I mean, you can't be shocked. But the levels have gotten lower. So you said earlier that there was no fuel to the injectors. Oh, fuel pump. Yeah. So are you talking to me or Tony? I think, yeah, I know. My car is still in the shop, dude. It's a fuel pump. It's a fuel pump. What do they call it? Module. My fuel pump module went out. So windshield wiper fluid. That's a good one. Because everyone's calling 55K bottom, you sure assume it is in the bottom. Yeah, and that's the tough part, right, Kevin? Is that if everyone's calling 55, then people are just going to hold off and wait till 55. But the thing is, though, is that people are going to wait. That's the other game to this, right? Is that if people are selling and waiting for 55, what do? You come back in as an institution, you start buying up that market, and all those people have exited waiting for 55. And then you want them to start buying at 80, 85, 90, right? Because you want them as exit liquidity, dude. So that's the thing, is that the only way we're ever going to know about this. Oh, you're a good observer, dude. I just know that he had a fuel pump issue, and I have having a fuel pump issue too. So, so that's what you do. You completely flip the script, dude. I was thinking 56. So people are waiting till 56, right, Timsky? I mean, you're waiting till 56. Some people are waiting till 55. I mean, I got some powder on the side to buy up the market at 55 if it gets down there. Like, I'm going to buy Bitcoin. If it gets down to 50,000, like, of course I'm going to start DCAing into Bitcoin. Like, there's no question about that. Like, cause I just think that's a, crazy number, but it might never get there because they're going to say, you know what, people are exiting these positions, and we're going to start shooting this price up because they want you to be exit liquidity. They don't want people buying at 55. They could always let you go long at 55, then wick your ass out. Yeah, that's if people are actually going long. I mean, if people are spot trading, right? Big difference. Longs are different. Unfortunately, you're seeing in this space, and if you do do shorts and longs, I mean, you got to realize that people will continue to gamble in this space, and gambling, the ratios are getting a little bit better here. You can see right now that it's been a little bit mixed. Obviously, the longs are getting wrecked compared to shorts because shorts are taking over again. But the script is flipping again here. But unfortunately, people will continue to gamble this space, and people will get down there wick. But if you're buying spot ETF or if you're buying spot Bitcoin, different story, right? Different story on that side. This buying and selling is psychology warfare with the big boys. Hell yeah, dude, 100%. Just now, I couldn't agree more. Get a job. I think people, I think people out there are getting a job, dude. I do have a job. I'm a professional chauffeur. I told you guys that. My day job is being a professional chauffeur, dude. I go around and I chauffeur. I work hard, man. Let's see here. 2010 Buick LaCrosse. Okay. Cons have had problems with transmission. Oh, yikes. I heard Buicks are actually pretty hard to work on. He's an escort. He's an escort. That's funny. One of the ugliest escorts out there, dude. I'll take it though. So we saw that chart right there. So here's another one too. Everyone's saying that a channel is actually being built up right here. It says Bitcoin is building what looks like a massive head and shoulders inside these rising macro channels. You can see right here that the left shoulder is at roughly 126. The head is sitting here at roughly 60K. And you can see that the right shoulder is going to come in and hit a certain level here. I've told you guys before, if you actually pull back and look at the chart on this thing, we're sort of hitting levels that we saw at previous cycles, right? I think it was back over here where we start to rally back out of these cycles. So we come down, we hit these levels. It doesn't mean that we hit the same one, but there will be a relief rally, and then we'll come back down and hit another level before we hit the next rally up, right? So this happened right over here. This next one came back in March, and then right around October, we came back up. But realize that right over here in June of 2019, we started to rally out of this. So you can see March, April, May, and then this is where we're at. This March, this next probably 2 months, going into March, into April, we're going to start to rally back out of it. We're probably going to have something like this right here. We're going to probably reach up, probably have a relief. So if this went up to from 19, went all the way down to 3, and then back up to here, I mean, 14, that's a pretty big hike. So, I mean, we could do very similar things here. We did it back over here in 21 and 22. We had another little rallies in between these. And again, over here, we did the same things, right? We came up, and then we came back down, hit levels. We're going to probably do a very similar thing here where we have a little bit of a relief rally. It might not go all the way back up here, but we'll definitely get back up in here into the 99s, maybe 100,000. Get back up here into the 236 areas on this fib, and then maybe have a soft. Because if you go back over here and we could probably pull a fib on this previous one, and I haven't done that before, so maybe we could just do it live on stream here and sort of see where this actually played out here. Let's do that. Let's see. Yeah. Oops. Let me get it zoomed in a little more on this bad boy. There we go. Let's try to find the bottom on this thing. This thing actually tapped out big time, dude. Holy crap. So say the bottom was like right here on the red. Let's do I mean, yeah, you can see it came down. And if we pull that across, and we can even probably pull this over here just a little bit more. If you pull that back across this whole thing, I mean, it's played in this 2-3 in this 618 level a lot, and so that's kind of where it's at. We came down, we hit these 618s, we dipped below it, and this actually came down pretty far, right? Which again, they talked about what went down roughly from the 618, it went down roughly 50%, right? 60%. This is back in 2018 from the 618 level. But even this one came down and hit certain levels here. But what I'm saying is that eventually we're going to hit a level here, and then we're going to start to run back up again. And this was right around, March, April, May. We could have another little fall off right here. This happened over November. We came all the way down, and we came flat. But I mean, different times, right? Different times, different charts. But I mean, very similar in terms of pattern here. We'll probably come up, hit this 382, almost to the 236. So let's just say that we go just a little bit above the 382. Let's just say we go to the 382 level. Let's just pull back here, and we'll see where the 382 level is here. I mean, that's telling us that we're going to get back to an 85,000 Bitcoin, right? A little over. We're probably right here on my line of about 89,000, I think is where I said that we're going to come back to. I pulled this back up here about 89,000 where this white line is, which lines up perfectly with where we're at. I mean, in all reality, I mean, we're just a little bit above the 382 level. We're at roughly 13 there. So, I mean, yeah, we could probably come back up and hit this 89,000 marker again at some point, and which would be a great relief rally. And then we'll come back down again before we have the next rally again. Anthony, let's see. I know the bottom, I know the top, so I feel good to just begin DCAing. There you go, dude. What time? What's up, Tim? Preloaded my audio. Observer dude, no, today is 78 degrees. That's nice. 78 degrees. I wish it was 78 degrees here. US versus Canada, women's US win, easiest bet ever. Are they playing today, dude? Are they playing today? I haven't put I hit a bet yesterday, dude. I had I put $50 on Creighton beating UConn. And yeah, I won $550 yesterday, dude. Yeah, this is live tomorrow, right? Oh, this is at 10 a.m. Is this right now? Is this going on right now? The women's hockey? I guess it started at 10 o'clock, right? Yeah, 78% chance that they're gonna win. What is the score right now then? Are they smacking right now? It's 0-0 right now. I mean, technically the bet right now is to actually bet on Canada. I mean, because if you put $100 on Canada right now, you're looking at a $400 return. So it's 4-1. It's not too bad. 4-1. That's not bad at all, actually. Right now, I put a bet. It's so funny, dude. This is when you know you're getting a little crazy, dude. I put a bet on what's his name winning the first round of the PGA. Has he even started yet? Scotty Scheffler. I have him winning the first round. That's like a if you put $100 in, it's like $1,000 if you win. Creighton scouted me for soccer at 14 years old. That's pretty badass, dude. Greenland will be green. The earth will dry up. Time is measured by distance in the sun. That was ancient sundial. The sundial is crazy. How the sundial was created. Shadows always change and close. We get the sun. I agree. Get your pride flag off the screen. Stupid. Flair has infinity supply. Took Canada versus USA parlay yesterday. Sweating. Oh wow. Yeah, I was gonna say the bet right now. I mean, like honestly, the play right now is to just go Canada at this point. Not that I want Canada to win, but I'm just saying if you're going to do it because it's in progress. I think they're in the end of the first 0-0. Yeah, and their only loss right now is to the United States. So, I mean, the longer this prevails, the longer this goes 0-0, the more the odds play in the favor of Canada. So, Canada not winning, no way. I'll just for you, I'll say Canada not winning, just because I know you have money on it. So yeah, here's the head and shoulders that's forming here. So people are thinking that we're actually going to have a little bit of a relief rally from this. Some people, again, this is just some people's output out here. I would agree with what Timothy puts out here is that the S&P 500 looks extremely dangerous right now. So as you guys can see, this little dash line right here is the 100-year trend line for the S&P 500. I thought this was pretty interesting because every time we start to rally up here, even in 2007, we had a massive sell-off here. This is obviously the housing crisis right here. And then we go back over here. This is the bear market again. But every time we come down and we either hit or surpass the 100-year trend line. And so obviously we're going to trend upward, but just realize that we're going to come back down and hit a trend line here again. And so it's going to be interesting to sort of see how this plays out. We're tending to sort of, you can see we're trying to peak out right here. And we're probably going to come down and hit a level here. Is that after the midterms? Is that before the midterms? I don't know. Right now, I'd assume that it's probably going to be after the midterms because if this starts to go down before the midterms, the Republicans can kiss the House goodbye. You know what I mean? And probably lose a lot. That's why UConn lost. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. I honestly couldn't believe that they won, dude. But I also had some on Arkansas, and I thought Arkansas was going to beat Alabama. That would have been a nice little one. Who's the other one I had it on? I think I had it on USC, and USC kind of choked a little bit, but yeah, I ended up having a pretty good day overall in terms of predictions. So how do you feel about the theory that the S&P 500 gains are just inflation? Dude, that is a pretty funny thing. It is wild when you start to think about the inflation side of it, just money going in and going up. And I mean, because if you actually zoom out on the S&P 500, right? I mean, just go back and look at the S&P 500. I mean, we just continue. It just continues to go up. I mean, like there's downturns to it, but I mean, the longevity of it going up all the time is just crazy. Go back and look at the history of the S&P 500. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're back over here in the early 80s. I mean, like no matter what, this has gone up. And if you go back and look at the chart of inflation, this is a pretty good funny. If you go back and actually look at the chart of the US dollar and the inflation of the dollar, like it follows the same trend line. Like, you can see it's kind of like slow here, and then boom, do we start to just go crazy? Like the more money that the United States spends, the more money that we go into debt. Like this goes on the same exact trend line. I mean, in all reality, if you pull back and look, I mean, the majority of our money being spent was right here after we sold out. This was right during Obama, right? We bailed out Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. We had the housing crisis. We bailed everyone out. And then look, since that happened, right? Look at how much money has flown in here, which caused, I mean, this is a significant climb since 2008, right? 2009. It's a pretty crazy thing to look at. But when you correlate that with the chart of inflation, with the chart of the dollar, with the amount of money we spent in terms of trillions of dollars in debt from a nation standpoint, it's pretty crazy. It's almost ironic in a way. Arkansas is the only state where you can get a divorce and keep the same in-laws. How the hell does that work? Yeah, united we stand, divided we fall. The original Democrat Republican Party was separate and has civil war and ongoing conflict. Yeah, they've always had that, dude. It's crazy. It's just a matter of what side of the aisle you on, dude. I mean, that's just a matter of what side of the aisle, like what side. I guess, like, which side are you on? And like, are you on the right side of history? I guess that's what it comes down to, dude. Like, are you on the right side of history? That's always the toughest part. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know. We need to just become a constitutional party, make constitutionalists great again. I think that we're definitely divided. There's no doubt about that, dude. The Republican and Democratic Party are so far. There's no one in the middle anymore. Unfortunately, there's no moderates in the middle. They all gone left or they all gone right. It's pretty wild. Can you make money just by taking the safe bet or favor odds on the Kalshi? Yeah, no, because they don't always pan out that way. You know what I mean? Like they don't always. There's always going to be upsets. You know, and like the NBA is a perfect example. You know, NBA is the biggest scam now. Like I think the NBA is by far the most. Like even the lotto, right? Even like the lottery. I think that a lot of these things are just scams. You know, I think the NBA. I think that there's a lot of. I don't think it's real. Like I think the NBA. I mean, like you trade away. Like just give me an example, dude. The Lakers got Luka Doncic for like basically pennies on the dollar. You got one of the greatest basketball players in the game right now, Luka, and you're going to trade him away for a first round draft pick, one first round draft pick, and some other penny. Like I mean, it was like basically they traded him away for nothing. And then you're going to go and somehow the Mavs, who had like literally like a 5% chance of getting the draft pick, the lottery pick, they end up getting the lottery pick and they get to pick Cooper Flag. So after you trade away one of the best players in the sport, you then all of a sudden magically at a 5% chance, like literally a 5% chance of getting the lottery, you then get Cooper Flag. And then now they're tanking, they're doing all this stuff, and then you got all the betting from all the people, and it's just like Silver has literally hurt the NBA more than anything. Goodell has hurt the NFL more than anything. Like the commissioners are, I think they're just in bed with everyone else. Like they're just as big of scammers as anyone in any sport out there. I truly believe that. Anthony Davis is not prime, dude. See, the thing is that I think they sold Anthony Davis as prime, dude. Anthony Davis's prime was literally when they won the championship in the bubble. That was his prime. And the guy is made of glass. Like Anthony Davis is made of glass. Unfortunately, it's nothing against him. I mean, he's a big, tall dude, skinny, takes a lot of beating, right? Falling down, getting hit. Like, no, I mean, he's past. Oh yeah. He's definitely past. He's past his prime for sure. But like, and he was always getting hurt in the Lakers, right? They had that one run in the bubble, and he stayed healthy, and they won. And outside of that, he couldn't stay healthy to save his life. You know what I mean? And it's just unfortunate. Anthony Davis' prime was when he was still wearing a Noel jersey. I think his prime hit when he was in the bubble. That was his prime, dude. I mean, you go back and watch that. That was a really good year for him. I mean, I think he actually had record-breaking numbers that year. I mean, LeBron was just coming down. I mean, they had, Alex Caruso, which was killing it. They actually played really. I mean, the bubble was different, you know what I mean? But I mean, I think that's kind of where I think he took a downturn. Yeah, I wouldn't want him on my team. No way, dude. And then what? They picked up Klay Thompson. I mean, I love Klay, dude. Klay's a great player, but again, he's past his prime too. His defense, he was, great defender, shoot the lights out when he had open spaces when Steph was getting double teamed and things like that. But there's no one else on the now that you take Luka out of there, who do you got, dude? I mean, Kyrie's hurt, you know what I mean? Like it's sad, dude. It's sad. Y'all excited about the Gina? No, I don't even, is that actually true? Is that actually going to go through? Republicans are Diet Coke, Republicans are Diet Coke Democrats. This whole system is a Ponzi scheme. Just focus on your family, your life, and expect nothing to come from the government. Make your own. 100%, Axel. I couldn't agree more with the focus on your family, your life, and expect nothing. That's such a good statement. And don't expect anything. I couldn't agree more with that, dude. I fully agree. I have felt the NBA draft been rigged since LeBron was drafted. Pretty weird that the guy from Ohio, Akron, Ohio, magically gets drafted with Cleveland, but Cleveland was ass. Cleveland, I don't know if that was true or not, but I mean Cleveland went what, like they had like four first round draft picks that were just straight garbage. I couldn't believe that, like how bad they are at drafting. I still can't. Bennett was their number one pick, dude. The one they call Greg Oden the number one. The biggest flop. Why him, dude? Go look at that Bennett guy. At least Greg Oden, actually had some steam behind him. You know what I mean? At least he actually continued to play. But I mean, like that no one talks about that Bennett dude that got drafted, right? What was it? What was the name? I think it was Anthony Bennett, dude. Yeah. What about Anthony Bennett? He averaged 4.2 points, the number one draft pick. What happened to that guy? 3.1 rebounds. You know what I mean? Yeah, they talk about Greg Oden. I mean, Anthony Bennett had 52 games played in his NBA career. Greg Oden had way more than that. I think Greg Oden had like 85, right? 105. So, what are we talking about here? I've never heard of Anthony Bennett until the day before the draft. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what that guy was crazy. Like, what the hell? Cavs had a tank for like 3 straight years. They tanked for 3 straight years to get LeBron. That's how I felt. and then they tanked afterwards. You know what I mean? Spurs are going to destroy everyone from here on out, dude. I put money on the Spurs to win the national title like a month ago, dude. Along with Wemby winning the MVP, dude. Those odds are like a 50. I think like with the Spurs where they were at, I think I put $50 in, and I think that payout's like $1,500 if the Cavs or if it's like 15. Let me look here real quick. Sorry, we're going off rail. We're going on our predictions now. I think, yeah, dude. So San Antonio. Okay, sorry. I put $50 in and I win $900 for a $50 bet. Like that's crazy, right? That's such a good odd. And I put Victor Wembanyama to win the MVP of it, and I put $50 in to win 1,000. So I mean, I think that they have a good shot. They're the only team out there that I think can actually beat OKC straight up. You know what I mean? Just because Wemby is just so, he changes, just being in the paint, he changes so much because like he's just such a big guy you got to shoot over. Canada goes up 1-0 1 minute in the second period. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Canada was the bet, dude. I should have put money on it, dude. Let's see here. I should have done it, dude. Damn it. Why didn't I just put freaking $50 on it? Yeah, look at that, dude. Canada's still down right now as the odds, even though they're up winning right now. That's crazy, dude. They're still down, but even a yes right now only. I mean, if I would have bet on that 10 minutes ago, that would have 50. I would have been a 50 to 5, right? It would have been a 5-to-1 ratio. So $50 would have made 500. Now your $50 only makes 250. So, and now let's talk about the Broadway show tunes. Shorthanded Canadian goal for the 1-0 lead. That's brutal. Yeah. Did they have a power play on that? Damn. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just like yesterday, dude. The Czechs almost beat freaking. I couldn't believe the Czech Republic almost beat Canada, dude. That was a crazy thing to watch. Czechs almost came back and beat the Canada, and then when the OT, it was wild, dude. Kind of crazy. I guess Coinbase. I guess Coinbase doesn't offer predictives in Canada. Oh, doesn't? I didn't know that. Austin, could you see another dip for crypto soon? Yeah, there's probably going to be. I think there could be some dips coming in here. Like, we're doing okay right now today, but I mean, yeah, I think that there could probably be some other dips coming in here. It's all a matter of sentiment in the markets. I think that what's coming out of Trump. I mean, if we go to war with Iran, I definitely think the markets are going to take a crap. Like, there's no doubt about that. I mean, we saw with the Russian Ukraine war, what that did. So I don't know what the whole Iran United States deal is going to do. Like, I mean, that could definitely dampen a lot of this. That could hit us to levels that we didn't want to see. So yeah, let's see what SCOTUS decides tomorrow. I know. Oh yes, tomorrow the decision with Oh, my truck just got a notification. My truck is ready to be picked up. All right, let's see here. Hi, Austin. He said, "We'll get her done. We'll get her done." That's what happens when you go to a small town. Um, cool. My truck is done. Heck yeah, dude. That's what I like to hear. They even celebrated the goal, all 6 players. Oh, damn, dude. That's pretty cool. BB has a choke chain in behind you. Yeah, the whole thing. Um, yeah. So it all depends on like what comes through, and I'm hoping like and you keep your fingers crossed that that's kind of what you don't want, right? But I mean, come down here. Let's look at the 4 hour right now. We haven't looked at the 4 hour here. Let's get our charts back up here. 4 hour obviously working its way back up here. If you guys are following this, you can see that, I mean, levels right now on the 4 hour showed that we hit some levels here coming down last night. Like I told you guys last night, this morning, I ended up selling my shorts this morning at like 3 a.m. I started to get the bounce back. My shorts ended up selling. I made a pretty good money off of yesterday. I think I bought my XRP short was at roughly, where did I buy my short at? I think I bought my short at 47. Yeah, I bought it at 47. I cashed out and it came back. I think I cashed out like 41, 42, somewhere in that ballpark. I can't remember where it was. It was it was like right around here. Yeah, it was like 41, I think. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, made some pretty good money off that. And same with H bar, right? I bought H bar yesterday. I started shorting H bar right around 10 a.m. I started shorting H bars right around here at 9, almost 10, and then it started to come down really hot during the day. And then middle of last night, I ended up selling it. So, or middle of this morning, I guess I should say. And then same with Ethereum, right? I bought Ethereum. I think I bought it at roughly yesterday at 1979, 1970 something, 1971. I think is where I bought it at, and then I shorted that all the way through. So, yeah, it was a good day. But the 4 hours, no lie. I mean, the 4 hours coming down right here, is it going to be a correction here? I don't know. The 4 hours kind of wonky right now. But unfortunately, the day chart is up at the top right here. Last couple times we've come straight down. We've had a few times where we come up here where we did something like this, which would be nice if we did something like this back in December. But each of the last times we've come straight down from this. So, this day chart is going to eventually off. The only good thing here is that we're actually in the green on the day chart right here. So we're still showing that we're in the green. And if you go back over here, we continued in this green trend all the way through. Even in the weekends, we continue this green trend. So I'm hoping that maybe last time we got down to these levels, we started to bounce back up and did something like this. You can see last time we came all the way down here in November, we came down and hit these negative, 252 on the MACD. We're down there now. I'm hoping that we do something like this, where we build back up out of here, we come back up, we build up. But this is a little bit different of a trend line. So yeah, I mean, it would be nice if we did something like this. So just something to consider that's the ETH chart, by the way. In same time frames, we go back over here to November, December, we didn't really have that. So we were actually coming down at those timelines. So right in here. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to play by ear. I'm not in the markets right now. I'm going to wait to sort of get a better idea of where this is going to go. Rather snipe last minute college basketball games. Those are fun to do, aren't right, Freddie? a couple of times, man, I've hit the market, dude. That Duke UNC game, dude. I put money on UNC to beat Duke, and in the last like 5 minutes, like UNC was down like 7 points, and it was like I could put $50 on this and win like $600. So I freaking did it, dude, and they came back and won, and I was like, deal. So yeah, there's a lot to be on the last second game. You better go get that truck. I know. I should go get that truck. It looks like we have a little movement to the upside. Yeah, it's really hard to get the upside because you can see the day chart's coming down. It's going to be hard. Even if this bounces back like we saw with the ETH right here, even if it does something like this, we're talking, yeah, it's definitely going to have a run here, but it's going to fall off again. Like there's not enough movement. The good thing is that the weekly's still at the bottom, right? This is actually a good sign too. I mean, we're at levels that we haven't seen in quite some time with the weekly, even on the MACDs, right? We're going back over here to 2022. Like we're not even at the levels for MACD sell-off right now, which is back over here at roughly negative 524. Right now we're at negative 364. We haven't created a new bottom, which a new bottom would be at 1391 on ETH right here. So we haven't actually created a new bottom. We're actually created a higher low right now, and then hopefully we go up from here, right? That's the whole goal. We don't want to create a lower low, go below the 14, which would be that wouldn't be good. But we're definitely going to have a rally. I mean, this weekly is going to come back at some point. And that's where I think we're probably going to look into this weekly coming back here in March, right? March and April, going into May, we're probably going to start to see our relief rally that I've been talking about, right? We talked about this relief rally back like over here in 2018. We had a nice little relief rally. We came back up from the bottom. We did something like this. Even if you look back over here, we'll have some kind of relief from this. Even from here, right? We came back from the bottom here. This is our lowest MACD right here at negative 537. We came up and had some relief before we went into the next rally, which was back in October, right? So we talk about this level. I think we're going to have something like this. This will come back again, very similar to where we're at right now. If we stay at this level, we'll probably go up. We'll just say that we go up roughly 122%. So what's 122% from where we're at right now? I mean, that put us back up here at 122%, put us back at 4304. I mean, that could very well happen, right? I thought they may have been BSing to get Wemby some rest. Yeah, that whole blood clot thing was crazy. I have family members in the first G and second Gulf Wars. Salute to all the troops. It's just sick that I know. I agree, man. I agree, dude. I don't think that people should die for other people's causes. I truly don't think that. So, but all right, guys, I'm going to hop off here. I'm actually going to get my truck, just like you said. I'm going to go pick up my truck and get the ball rolling for that thing, dude. So, yeah, with all that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Appreciate each and every one of you being here. It's good to see you all. Always love coming in here and chatting with you guys. Cool Cat Casmo, good to see you, man. And yeah, just appreciate each and every one of you for kicking it with me and always showing up and showing out and just shooting the shit. So hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. With all said, we're out. Peace out, everyone. Love you guys.